Hi everyone, my name is Tina Swidden. I am author of Divorcing a Narcissist and also founder of One Mom's Battle. And today I wanted to talk to you about the realities of obtaining sole custody when you are going up against a narcissist. First, I wanted to say I'm not an attorney. I cannot give you legal advice. Your attorney is ultimately your voice in the courtroom and your advocate. So make sure that any new strategies that you're planning to implement are always run through your attorney first. I merely share things that helped me in my own custody battle, things that I've picked up from the battlefield and walking with other protective parents who are fighting for their kids. So with that said, it's one of the most common questions I get from people is, how did you get sole custody and how do I get sole custody? Mine was kind of unexpected. I had mistakenly been asking for it since day one. And if you have a clear-cut case of abuse or domestic violence, it is warranted most of the time to ask for that right out of the gate. I don't see it awarded very often, but it's always worth a try. So I was asking for it since day one, which based on what I had against my ex-husband, it probably made me look a little dramatic or hysterical, just that it was the sky is falling mentality, where I didn't have proof to back up why it was warranted. So in my situation, my ex-husband was constantly lying about the whereabouts of my little girls. And I was constantly running to minors counsel or running to the court and stating, he kept them at this place this weekend, but he said he was taking them here. And they would, slap him on the hand and say, don't do that again. You need to tell her where the kids are. And it wasn't working. He just, this had been going on for a full year and I was distraught. I had no idea where my kids were half the time. So I bought a little flip phone that had a GPS tracker. And it was before that was really common. It was probably 2011-12. The phone was for them to have access to call him or I at any time, but it also allowed me to log in and see where they were. So we went to court and I waited for him to give his full testimony about where the girls had been the weekend before, and then I was in pro se, so I could do this. I raised my hand and said, Your Honor, that's not true. And the judge actually said, does anybody have GPS to tell me who's lying and who's being honest here, or where the kids were in general? And I said, actually, Your Honor, I do. I have GPS that shows their location all weekend long. And minors counsel took the stack of paper from me, was pacing back and forth, read it all. He looked like an idiot because he hadn't been doing his job. And the court ended up saying, I'm not only going to revoke his overnight visits, but I'm going to give Miss Swidden sole legal custody because she deserves to go to bed every night knowing where her kids are going to be. And that day was the turning point in my case. It may not be as dramatic for you, but there are ways to start building your case to show that the other party is incapable of co-parenting. And it's going to be different for everybody. But one example would be, if the doctor is recommending or the dentist is recommending your daughter's tooth is pulled and he's refusing to, go along with it or get a second opinion or anything else, he's just, stonewalling, then, that type of pattern of behavior over an extended period of time, especially if you are being strategic in your communication, reaching out in a non-emotional way, trying to engage in conversation about this is in the child's best interest, this is recommended by the doctor. One way to say it is, in an effort to memorialize our conversation today with the pediatrician, it was recommended that so-and-so have her, right arm casted by Friday of next week. I'm planning to keep that appointment. If you have any issues, let me know. Those type of things. So you're being very strategic about your communication and showing that, if you've sent 20 emails over the past 6 months and he's only responded to one of them, that shows an inability to co-parent. Those type of things. And it's going to depend on your judge. Some judges are going to give certain things more weight than other judges will. And that's another reason why it's so important to learn your court system and to really entrench yourself in who the judges are, who the decision makers are, minors counsel, evaluators. Really get to know everybody in the system. It takes a while. Keep notes. Anytime you hear something about the person, put it down on your list. I always tell people to choose your battles really wisely. In the beginning, it's not a high likelihood that you are going to obtain sole legal custody. But like with anything in the system, whether it's 50-50 physical custody or, joint legal custody, there's always a starting point in this system. No matter what state you're in, it's typically 50-50. The mindset is, okay, that's what I'm dealing with today. It's not forever, and I chip away at it from there. There is absolutely nothing final in family court. I've been to court multiple times since my final custody orders. And so there are no grand finales until your child turns 18 and you're truly done in family court. But, just keep in mind, it's a marathon. It's actually an ultra marathon. But you can do it. I believe in you. I know this is an isolating journey, but, a lot of people put me on a pedestal and think, oh, wow, she's this incredible warrior mom. She's protected her kids. They're safe. The reality is, at the end of the day, I am just like you. I suffer from PTSD. I suffer from anxiety. I've been through a lot, not only in my marriage and my relationship, but early childhood traumas. My ACE scores are probably through the roof. I can't even bring myself to take the test. But my point is, if I can do it, you can do it. And no one can predict the timeline. In my case, it took a full decade, literally August 2009 through August 2019. But I did it, and my kids are safe, and I am cheering you on. I am rooting for you. I'm praying for you. And make sure you subscribe to our channel so you get notified on every single video that gets published. Thanks so much, and have a great day.